So always remember this rule: debt is cheaper than equity. Debt is cheaper than equity. This is something that a lot of people don't know, but if you've ever studied finance, this is something they drum into your head over and over and over, which is why in finance you are actually encouraged to take on debt to grow a business. The problem is when people do this for themselves, they take on too much debt. So it's not that debt is bad, it's that people don't know how to make use of debt and what level of debt is the ideal level of debt. But the point is, debt is cheaper than equity. What do I mean by that? Here as follows: if you go to an investor, right, and you ask that investor to invest in your project or your business opportunity, more than likely that investor is going to expect a return of probably 20%, 30%, 40%. But if you went to a bank and you borrowed money, the bank would basically charge you an interest rate of, depending on whatever prime is currently, 11%. So you'll probably pay 11%. Even if they charge you 13%, it's still cheaper than equity. Equity funding is very expensive. So when people ask this question, should I buy, if I have cash, should I buy a property or open a business with cash money, or should I take on debt? If you can take on debt and you are able to access the debt, always access debt with a portion of equity. But it doesn't make sense to use the most expensive form of capital, which is equity capital, to put into a business or a property, right? You always want a mixture of debt and equity. So you don't want 100% debt, the same like you don't want 100% equity. There needs to be a mixture. In finance, we call it the optimal capital structure. That's what they teach you, the theoretical word for it, right? So they're looking for that optimal capital structure. What level of debt and equity, what combination thereof provides the highest value of return to the shareholders, or the highest return on investment for you as an investor, if it's your own business. So always remember, debt is cheaper than equity. Equity is a more expensive form of funding.